For generations, men and women in the East African region have fished in the waters of Lake Victoria for subsistence, the local market, and recently for export. The lake intersecting three of the East African countries, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, is the second largest freshwater body in the world and the home of the world's largest freshwater fishery, with an estimated over 350 fish species. It provides the bulk of the conventional rains that support the largely rain-fed agriculture within the basin. And above all, it is the source feeding the world's longest river, the Nile, supporting an estimated 42 million people in the riparian region. The list of benefits is endless. The nerve-wracking challenge, though, is that the uncontrolled activities of the growing human population within the basin have overwhelmed this once very rich ecosystem that it can no longer support the livelihoods of the surrounding people, the bulk of whom vulnerable communities. How can we address these many challenges? Over the past 3 years, Pathfinder International Uganda and ecological Christian organization ECHO have been piloting a project, the health of the people and environment in the Lake Victoria Basin, HOPE LVB, in Wusi and Jaguzi Islands in Wakiso and Mayuge districts, respectively, to save the families within the basin along with the fish and their habitats, the Lake Victoria ecosystem. HOPE LVB is a regional project also operating in Kenya to reduce these cross-border threats to biodiversity conservation and ecosystem degradation in the Lake Victoria Basin, while simultaneously increasing access to family planning and reproductive health services in order to improve maternal and child health in project communities in Uganda and Kenya. In Kenya, it is implemented by Pathfinder International and Oceanala Friends of Lake Victoria. It is funded by USAID, John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, and David and Lucille Packard Foundation. The project is using the existing local structures like beach management units, village health teams, model households, and women groups, amongst others, to build community-led initiatives. The full support of the local leadership is continually drawing participants to the project, increasing community acceptance, ownership, and management of the HOPE LVB project, as we now share in the following excerpts. Beach management units are committees in charge of enforcing good fishing practices within the fishing communities and fostering development amongst fishers. They now reach out to the fishing communities with population, health, and environmental messages, otherwise called PHE, detailing the connections between the health of their families and the natural environment. They have, for example, taught them that fish have a life cycle like human beings, and that for the fish to benefit them maximally, they must let it grow and pick only the mature ones as the cycle to breed more continues. This means protecting the breeding zones and avoiding using unsustainable fishing methods that trap the young fish.
Bene twasoka twekolamu omulimo ng'abavubi. Buli alina katimba katono twabwokya, alina obwato obutono twabwokya ife bene na bene. Era batusomesa what is breeding area. Twagitegeera nti izaaliro lya byananda. So twakigezaaku mu kaseera akatono kati n'engege twatandise egema bugeme n'angalo. Era abavubi abandi bandeta nti kino kumbe kirungi kiti. Basobola okumpa empota ya kilo 4. Ayo okujja okulinga mu lyato nga bayidiza amaato gaabwe empota dikoze eki didwire.
Kisikiriza n'emyalo emirala. Nje gyali tagikkiriza kukolawo malundiro mazaaliro ga byennyanja. Kati era gwe mulimu guno gwe tuliko olunaku olwaleero gonna gasazeewo gakole amazaaliro g'ebyennyanja kuba bagenza okulaba nga ffe tufunyeemu ate okusinga bo.
So far, the BMUs have gazetted 16 fish breeding areas, which have increased the total catch per boat by over 60% in Chanjazi and Mubembe landing sites. The project mobilized the men, women and youth who had been solely surviving on fishing and the attendant activities to do supplementary income-generating activities aimed at fighting poverty, particularly during the periods when the fish is regenerating to fishable levels. To start them off, the project distributed different improved varieties of banana and tree species for maximum benefits. The communities have since started their own communal tree nursery beds, from which they have planted over 450,000 trees on the lake banks, their gardens, and within the community. To date, they have been able to raise over 200,000 tree seedlings for sale, and part of the proceeds to buy a patrol boat to scout their protected fish breeding grounds and the lake in general, to flush out any illegal and overfishing activities within their area of jurisdiction. The project then bought for them a powerful engine that can easily race up against the defaulters, as they did on this occasion. Usually they ban the illegal gear in the presence of the community members as a deterrent to those who may still harbor the dirty plans of disrupting the breeding and growing cycle of the fish. All the activities of BMUs are done in tandem with the delivery of reproductive health and family planning services in the area. Many BMUs are now serving as village health teams. They are mobilizing and sensitizing women, the men and the youth about the availability of voluntary family planning services. At every such opportunity, the VHTs usually liken family planning with the fish breeding cycles, building a strong block towards saving and rebuilding the ecosystem of the lake. The increasing number of men spreading the gospel of family planning services, which traditionally used to be a woman issue, has reduced the resistance and lessened the egos that used to breed domestic violence amongst the fishing communities, and by extension, the pressures to go back to the lake, particularly in the fish breeding zones. They also encourage the women and girls to go for antenatal care during pregnancy. As a result, the deliveries in health facilities have increased from an average 3 mothers before the project to now over 30 per month within the project areas. The VHTs also conduct home visits, advising people to improve their sanitary conditions. This is one of the project strategies to prevent poor sanitation-related diseases. Households that learn and implement the PHE become focal learning centers for the rest of the communities within the project and beyond. They are called model households.
We decided to choose a model home as the center of change. We actually trained a model household to be an example of PHE in the community and to train other people. If your neighbor is not a model household and sees what is in your home, automatically that person will come and you will train the good methods of farming, good methods of rearing animals, the use of family planning and reproductive health. In so doing, model homes are multiplying month after month.
Okubeera mu bwa modo oteekwa okuba ng'olina enju mw'osula n'awaka nga wayonjo ng'olina ennyumba z'ebisolo mwe zisula si kusula nazo, ng'olina kaabuyonjo nga mbikkeko, ng'olina akadomola akanaaba mu ngalo, ng'olina ekinaabiro, ng'olina akatandaalo k'oyanika ebintu, akatandaalo ako ka layers 2, ng'olina ekinnya ky'ebisaaniiko, ng'olina n'ekyoto eky'omulembe ekikekkereza enku, ng'ofumba amazzi ag'okunywa, ng'osimba emiti, ng'omanyi ku nkola ya family planning, ng'ogemesa abaana, ng'oweerera abaana. Kati oyinza okutandika ng'olinako nga 8 ku byo ne bakuteeka mu gurupu C. Kati bw'ogenda weeyongera kubanga tuba tufuna emisomo, bw'oweze 15 n'obeera mu B. Kati bw'osussaawo ne bakuteeka ku A.
Mu nteekateeka twasalawo okukola clusters mu buli kyalo. Cluster tesukka maka 5 baze twandiyise model homes. Cluster ezo nga zirina cluster head okubeera nga buli muntu ayigira ku munne era nga zizaala endala.
Kisaba zone tuli mu clusters 2. Nze head cluster wa Kisaba Central, cluster yange erimu abantu 3. Naye era kati nkyasomesa kubanga n'ewaka wange beegomba wembeera gye ndimu enkadde nagiva kati ndi ku mbeera ennungi. Era basooka kunsomesa PHE ne mmanya nti abantu bwe babeera abangi ensawo yeeyongera okufulumya mu bbeeyi ki ennyingi. Bwe nadda nasooka kubuulira mwami wange bye tusomye mu Hope, tandika okukola n'omwami wange.
Mrs. Samanya has a model rainwater harvesting technology. She collects enough water throughout the year to service all her domestic water requirements, cleans her utensils thoroughly and promptly, and spreads them on a drying rack before storing them. The latrine stances too are very clean and also properly covered. The tippy-tap with soap by the doorway simplified the need to cleanse their hands thoroughly when one comes from the toilet. Besides, the vegetables standing out as ornamentals in her compound demonstrates her appreciation of the need to use her limited space effectively, just like she would use family planning to fit within a mega resource base. Interestingly, the vegetables are also an easy source of income to the family, especially during the dry season when her neighbors come in to buy it from her. Mr. Gidudu Hakmid's residence in Jaguzi sub-county in Mayuge district is yet another model household. Like other model farmers, he has a conspicuous demonstration garden by the roadside to attract the attention of whoever would love to start or improve on their farms. He uses compost manure alongside other soil and water conservation practices, which, according to him, has improved the family's food security status and income. To everyone who comes to learn about conservation agriculture, Gidudu also gives them an additional package on reproductive health and conservation so that they can use it in planning for their households. Mrs. Zaituni Mpumi Nadunga's home is another model household. She has demonstrated that intercropping agroforestry tree species within the garden will improve soil fertility and hence the overall increase in farm productivity. Nothing goes to waste. She uses shrubs such as coriander to offer nutritive feed for her farm animals to increase the animal productivity and consequently their household income. Each cluster was given a seed stock of a she-goat whose offsprings they would share amongst themselves and even beyond. They were also given a he-goat to improve on the local breeds within the communities. There are also individuals who have bigger pieces of land, planting fruit trees such as mangoes, oranges and passion fruits on a commercial basis. Mr. Chibumba, a resident of Mubembe village, is one such farmer. Unlike many other project beneficiaries, he had planted oranges a few years before the Hope LVB project, but didn't know what to do to maximize the returns until he got training from the project. Today, apart from making and applying organic manure, he also uses several other agronomic practices to maximize the returns from his oranges all the year round. He is now among the successful fruit farmers on Jaguzi Island. He uses this privileged position to promote the PHE approach, particularly amongst fellow men, which has enabled many of them to see the critical linkages between the size of the population, the health of the people, and the impacts on the environment within the Lake Victoria Basin. Women formed groups within which they learned quality tree seedlings management and reproductive health. Thereafter, they started communal tree nurseries as income-generating activities. While tending to their nursery beds, they discussed the benefits of contraception and other family planning methods. But most important, how to effectively approach and engage their husbands in family planning discussions that will persuade them to start practicing family planning. Many of them have successfully done it and are truly enjoying all the benefits out of the project. Today, there are over 7 women groups in different parts of the project and many others elsewhere who have benefited from the scheme and can ably contribute to the welfare of their families, just like they are doing for their tree nurseries.
Emiti gino gyolaba abakyala tugifunyemu nnyo bwe tumala otunda tutula wansi ng'ekibiina ne tukola entegeka.
Tulina ka pasenti ke tujjako ne tuteeka mu nsawo y'ekibiina kyaffe ate ne tufuna pasenti endala esigaddewo ne tubeera nga tukolamu ate projects endala.
Abakyala twagula embuzi, abamu ne bagula enkoko eza kuleira.
Kati era bwe mbeera nga nyinanga nsonga oba mwana kudda ku ssomero ndaba nga byenfunamu akasente bikola ki biwera.
The youth too have come out to embrace the project interventions. This particular group has taken on coffee growing as a business. After the training, they know how to produce quality coffee seedlings so that whoever is interested can easily access and plant them. They are earning quite a lot from their coffee nursery business that they hardly feel the pinch, as it was before the project. Cautious about the behavior change that usually comes with an increased income base, the project has given them survival skills on how to avoid contracting sexually transmitted diseases, but most important, on the need to plan for their families and the available natural resources. Some fishers are taking up apiary farming. The project offered 30 hives that the communities sited in the remaining trees that survived the deforestation. This meant conserving them and to grow many more others to provide a conducive environment with plenty of food for the growth of the bees, so that they are able to produce quality honey and in enough quantities to service the abundant market in different parts of the country and beyond.
Tukyenumiikirizaamu era n'okubona nti tufaayo okwewaayo okukola omulimu guno kisobozesa abantu abandi okutegeera nti musobola okutaawa omulimu nga gw'okulunda ndoki gwafuuka omulimu nga guvaamu ssente edibayamba awazira kuliningirira enanda yonka.
Realizing the benefits, the communities through their leadership are now advocating for support from the Mayuge District local government to buy 50 more hives to expand the enterprise amongst the other community members. They are also advocating for support from the local government to fill the gaps that arise as more people demand for family planning services in terms of equipment and personnel in the health centers. The communities have also adopted the use of energy-efficient stoves that are simple to build and maintain with the locally available materials. No wonder the rate of uptake is also very high, now standing at over 1,700 households who have embraced the technology over the past 2 years within the project area. But the numbers on the ground are much higher considering the multiplier effects spilling over to the neighboring communities. Thanks to the work well done by the trainers, the project trained to champion the campaign. The sustained uptake will increase the health of women and children who are often involved in the cooking exercise because the stoves safeguard them from a wide range of diseases associated with inhaling kitchen smoke. The project has also done a lot to improve the quality of health services and access through furnishing the existing centers. In Busi and Jaguzi Health Center 3 facilities, for example, the project bought solar suitcases to improve the lighting conditions at the health center, especially during the night. This has saved the patients and the health personnel from the health challenges associated with inhaling smoke from these paraffin-based lanterns, which they had been using before the intervention of the project. Above all, the project has also built the capacity of the health personnel to drive reproductive health issues from a point of knowledge.
We had little knowledge about managing some conditions like carrying out breech delivery, delivering a trained placenta. We are referring all those cases. And you could refer a mother to Entebbe Hospital and you found out that even she doesn't have money of transporting her from here up to the health facility where you have referred the mother. In the end, the mother would lose her life as well as even the baby. But when the project came in, we are trained in managing such cases. Even maternal death has reduced. We are trained in carrying out family planning services, especially long-term family planning methods, which we are not carrying out here at the center, and also trained us in managing side effects of family planning methods. We sensitized the community, and many of the mothers, as well as their husbands, started using family planning, because in a month we could get like 2 to 5 mothers. We are now reaching 100 in a month using family planning.
To address the challenges of long distances between some communities and the health centers, the HOPE LVB project is facilitating health workers to undertake medical outreaches through which many people have been reached. The turn-up is overwhelming whenever such arrangements are made. So, it has built the capacity of the village health teams to closely work with the medical personnel, especially during these medical outreaches. They are trained to take charge of the basics such as pre-treatment counseling services and refer the complex issues to the medical practitioners. Hope LVB has also mobilized young mothers and empowered them to start income-generating enterprises such as craft making and baking, out of which they have been able to earn a decent living. Besides empowering them economically, it also provides family planning and reproductive health information, which increasingly is building the courage of these young mothers to seek counseling and medical services from health centers. The project also uses these young mothers to reach out to school-going children with some information, particularly the dangers of dropping out of school, early sex involvement, and pregnancy. Also during such outreaches, the project staff and the medical personnel use the opportunity to speak to the young generation about the need to live with positive behavior that will best reward their future. Community dialogues. Under this arrangement, the project implementers and the project beneficiaries, plus all other interested members of the community, come together to discuss the project activities and other issues related to population, health and the environment.
In a quarter, we normally have around 6 community dialogues. A quarter has got 3 months. So within these community dialogues, we get the feedback from the community. Where we've not worked well, the communities can advise us. So it makes the community members to feel like they're the owner of the project.
The members are also encouraged to come up with ideas or strategies that can help them achieve their development goals, both at the household and community level, in the struggle to rebuild the basin's ecosystem without hurting their goal of living a happy life. For example, it is through such meetings that community members decided to come up with a vision map reflecting what they intend to achieve in their communities in the next 10 or 20 years. They drew sketch maps which the project has imprinted into maps. They also agreed on strategies to help them realize their vision within a stipulated time. The project has been using music, dance and drama to disseminate PHE information to other members of the community within and outside the project area. Apart from performing during community dialogues, the drama groups take advantage of all the public functions to share their experiences with other members. And through exhibitions such as these, the members have been able to showcase the impact of the Hope LVB project in families and the community at large. This also doubles as a mobilization tool for more people to join and benefit from sustainable natural resource management.
The Hope LVB project came up with the right theme for this place because other organizations have come here, but they have been teaching population only. When somebody comes for health education only. And with the environment, we don't have people coming for environments because we don't have the environment field officers. The PHE integration has done much to this place. First and foremost, the latrine coverage have raised. Before the Hope project came, was about 1%. Now it is up to 25%. Some of the elements are not there now. Diarrheas were everywhere. Everywhere people were diarrheating, vomiting, you cannot see this time. The women have got the idea of taking the children to the skilled person for immunization. That is a success because they were just learning that they want to kill our children. But now they take them, so they even ask for the drug. In 20 years to come, this village will be a model. The whole district will be coming here to learn.
Before this project came, the beach management committee, they are not working together with the community. We were not working together with the local leadership. But in the trainings, they were told that it is very important that they work together with the local leadership. So as of now, there's an integration of BMU leadership, the local leadership, and the entire community. It's a bigger number of people who are concerned about anything which goes wrong. They also brought in this idea of BMUs from different places working together. It means they can cover a bigger area, so a bigger area is being protected from the illegal fishing. If they could upscale to those other places also, so that those people are also brought on board, things would be very good.
Tuli basanyufu nnyo ng'abakulembeze ne project ya Hope kubanga Hope yatusangira abantu baffe baali batema emiti nga bwe balaba ogijjamu embaawo okugijjamu enku ne batwala entebe okutunda baalina endowooza egamba nti emiti gya kuno gyekuza gyokka ne mu kiseera kino Hope bwe yajja yatulaga nti simba emiti kubanga obutonde ate bukuwa obulamu senga enkuba eva mu kizinga kino olw'emiti nga tugimazeewo nga tetusimbye kakati ate obulimi tojja bufuna ng'enkuba evuddemu ate naawe ojja kuba tolina mmere gy'olya ate kijja ku affectinga obulamu bwo emiti netutandika ogisimba kati ate ngaffe abakulembeze tugezaako okusimba ennyo batulabireko ne tugenda mu by'obulamu okuzaala ng'abantu balowooza nti ffe tuli eno mu byalo bwemba n'akabanja kange nga kano abaana bange banaalyanga omwo emmere ne Hope ekintu ekisomesezza bulungi zaala abaana batono spacinga kikuyamba eri enkulaakulanayo n'enkulaakulana y'abaana bo boozadde nemala okisomesa ne tukitunuulira nga kyekyo era abantu abasinga obungi tulina ekintu faananyi kye tubadde tulaba ate era nga kikyuse ekirala mu by'obulamu abakyala baffe okukyalira eddwaliro nga bali embuto kintu kibadde mabega nnyo naye abantu bakitegedde nti kyalira eddwaliro okeberebwe nga waakafuna olubuto w'olutegeeredde bakuadvisinge bw'omala nti nento care ate genda mu ddwaliro osobole okuzaala obulungi.
With all these successes, there is every reason to believe that in the PHE approach lies great potential and hope to restore the integrity of the health of the people and the environment in the Lake Victoria Basin much sooner than anticipated.